I do believe we're live.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the damn button. Oh, here we go. No. Oh, well, I'm off to a good start. There we are. Here we go. Well, hello,
Hello.
everybody, for our fantastic Halloweener special. Just a girl, but I'm welcoming Pat. So, Pat, thank you so much for freaking joining my buddy, my co author, my comrade, my comedic pal, I don't know, my friend of what, like 8 years?
Yeah, and it's been a minute, you know? It feels like we just wrote our book yesterday, but also like 20 years ago.
I know. Like I'm getting all these memories on Facebook, and it's like 5 years ago you did. Actually, it was just what, like 2 days ago was the anniversary of when I did my comedy show, and we did our book signing in LA. Oh my god, that was so funny. I've never done comedy again. But do you remember what you said to me after I did it?
I was scared for your life. I thought you were going to be terrible at it, and you crushed it. You crushed
I
it.
know they like totally used my like it's still on their website and stuff, and I got a standing ovation. I was like, holy shit. But that's because I opened with I'm disabled, so if you don't clap and laugh, you're ableist twat waffles. And I feel like when I opened with that, okay, now people are obligated to
Right.
laugh, and it just kind of worked. That was, oh my
Yeah.
god, that night was so much fucking fun. And I got to meet your co-host in person, and I think that's the first time you met her as well.
That trip was, yeah. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know her at all yet. Randomly, I was just a guest on her show a bunch of times, and she just said, "Hey, I think we click and have the same mindset." And her show was based on drinking a lot, and I'm like, "Hey, I like to drink a lot. let's let's
You
make this
do.
happen." So, and just so people
So,
know,
what's that?
Joy, just so people know, Joy asked me to wear a costume, and I was working today. So I haven't worn the Bernie stuff proudly in ages. So it's sort of half ironic, but I haven't worn the Bernie shit in ages, and I busted it out as my costume. I'm a Bernie bro.
You're a Bernie bro. He's not even a Democrat.
God,
Good.
the flashbacks
I know,
triggered.
PTSD. So tell us about your podcast, your co-host, all of those fun things.
Yeah, so Lila Charsley is my co-host. We started off just doing one show a week, and it was a very drunk show initially. Like we had a wheel up, and we land on shots, and we wanted to be sort of drunk history, sort of like the weekly news, but also like, hey, don't take us too seriously either. We're all in this together. Let's just drink and talk about it, kind of thing. But then we decided, doing shots all the time is not very good for your liver for one, but also just when we expanded to a couple shows a week, that's just too much. So we just drink beer now and talk about politics. We take it very seriously, the political stuff. We do our research, but it's more of a community of people that have gotten to know each other, over the years. And yeah, I mean, it's a serious show, but it's not at the same time. We still have little intermission things. We spin a wheel and land on cat stuff and humor stuff, and we try to make a show for what like I would want to watch if I'm burnt out on politics, but still want to follow politics.
Exactly. Yeah, same. I mean, I've been doing this shit over 8 years, and I don't want to get bored. I don't want my viewers to get bored. So even if we're talking about, serious stuff, I still drop in things. I can't help it. It's maybe a coping mechanism. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I do a show called Capitalist Death Parade with my friend, and at the end of each episode, we pick a grand marshal who leads us off the cliff, like just doing silly things. Just to, if you don't laugh, you cry, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think people appreciate that because not everybody has the ability to have humor, and they search for things like that because, let's be honest, everything fucking sucks right now.
Yeah, it does. And like we try to end every show, we call it one good thing, where we found something that's going to, brighten your day, or, leftist win here and there. And it's gotten really hard to find them. So that's like, it's not as easy as you think to find like one good thing every week. And
we do that too.
But we try.
What we do is I'll usually play like a video of like the frog dancing, or like a baby like singing, or an animal, like, you know what I mean? Because if you can't find anything, just go to babies or animals.
Right.
And
I mean, that's,
even if it's random, it's great.
We kind of have the same formula, except I don't like the wholesome stuff as much as she does. I don't want wholesome too much. We do get it in there once in a while.
Where they're like peeing their pants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or
Baby fails is more my.
There's this new diaper commercial I saw, and it's called Blowouts. And apparently it's like extra baggy in the butt. And I thought that was like one of the funniest things I've ever heard. It was pretty amazing.
Do they make adult blowouts? Because I know some politicians that could use them.
Yeah, seriously. Over their mouth as well.
Right. Both sides.
So when you say you're wearing your Bernard stuff, kind of ironically, what is your take on him? Because I know when we wrote our book, like, we were hardcore. And, you were known as Pat the Burner for years. I was known as someone who moved to Iowa for 5 weeks to volunteer as I was going blind. We were hardcore. Yeah. So when you look at things now, and I know it could be, kind of maybe not so black and white, but when you think of Bernie now, what are your thoughts as to who he is, who he turned out to be?
Yeah, I mean, it isn't black and white for me still. It's complex. I still think he's very good for the left as a whole. I mean, he's bringing people into leftist ideology, all this leftist stuff happening, within the fake progressives and the squad. But just the fact that people still want, like, every policy pushed is still majority popular with both parties in this country. Medicare for all, you name it. So he's done a lot to get support. He's sort of like a pathway to where I think people should be and should land politically. The problem with him is, he's got this billionaire rally and the same. He's trying to keep the movement alive with the billionaire rally, but what is it really doing? It's not a call to action. He's been around long enough, and he's got an army of people that he could be beckoning to do tangible things at these rallies, other than go out and run for office and pressure your politicians and the cliche stuff. He could be saying, look, on February 14th, we're doing a rally where nobody's going to ride the bus. Nobody's going to take the plane. Nobody's going to, eat it, any fast food in the country for a week until something happens, or tangible shit. And the fact that that's missing, a lot of people call him a sheepdog. I don't really like that phrase for him because I think that implies you're sort of part of the plan for the evil Democrats in a way, which I don't see him really in that role. I think he largely thinks what he's doing is the right thing. I just disagree. His own wife disagrees. I agree with his wife more than him on
and
his
brother,
political tact.
I've had his brother, Uncle Larry, on my show numerous times. I've talked to him in DM many times, and he, he's in UK, and he was the elected health official in UK for many, many years. He is way more left, UK, obviously. And I would be like, what the hell is your brother doing? I mean, there's one thing I will never, ever, ever take away, and that is the fact that Bernie planted the seed in me that made me an activist, that educated me about everything. And I was one of millions. I was like, 36 or something? And, like 9 years ago, and I didn't fucking know this shit. Like, I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm going to be transparent. I didn't know just how bad money in politics was. I did know about lack of healthcare because I worked in it. But I really, I was like, cool, Obama, like, yay. I was so fucking clueless. And I think, he did that for millions of us. He woke us up.
And I largely see what he's doing now as sort of a second wave of that. And there's tangible proof. I know a lot of people that talk about Bernie now that didn't know who he was back 4 years ago, and they're like, Bernie's right on Palestine, even though he's sort of half right on Palestine. But, they're coming to where we were then. It's just that alone doesn't change anything. As we learned already, okay, yeah, we got the people to support our positions, but we're still not holding any power within government. And Bernie's solution is still like, let's grab this power within government. He's got an inside-outside strategy. Well, yeah, I used to believe in that too, but we have almost no one inside, and everyone inside, other than maybe Bernie and Jayapal, or there's a couple people you could say are legit lefts, but most of the squad sold us the fuck out. So, that's disenfranchised our wave of Bernie supporters. There's a new wave coming in, but what is he telling them to do? Is it going to be vote in the midterms? Because I haven't heard a call to action other than vote in the midterms. Take back the Democratic Party. You're not taking back the Democratic Party. That is just not going to happen. And like largely what my show ideologically where we stand is we want to disavow people of thinking the Democratic Party is the solution, right? Because we need activism. We need to disrupt. We don't need to convince many more people to support what we agree with even. 4 years ago, it was more about getting people on board to agree with us. Well, they all agree with us now. And we're all holding our hands going, where's our power? What are we doing? And Bernie could be that guy directing that, but he's still, his good friend Joe and his good friend Kamala. And that's all very disappointing. But then again, I still think he's a net positive for leftist ideology. For bringing in the new wave of people.
Things I cannot get past. I can't get past him having Palestine supporters arrested at his rally. I can't get past him refusing to call it genocide for over 2 years. I can't get past. What's that?
Well, I mean, just yesterday or the day before, 2 days ago, I think, he said that Trump is better on the border than Biden. He's like, we need borders, and people need to realize that that's the truth, and we have to accept that Trump has been better on the border than Biden. Like, that's right out of Bernie's mouth, So shit like that really just rubs me wrong, obviously.
Wow. Amazing. He, I will always be thankful that he brought certain things you know, to discussion. He made things like Medicare for all, like a household term, things like that. I mean, it changed lives. But I can't get down with like him only doing shit like these rallies when Trump is in office. Like, weren't you just a few months ago telling everyone to vote for Kamala? Like, what? And now you're like anti big money and things like that. Like, what? Where? And then if a Dem is elected again, he's going to be right back there on stage with them saying vote for them, even if they are, against what he purports to, stand for, just because they're a Democrat. And he doesn't need to go out and campaign for people. He doesn't need to. And he's an independent. He doesn't even need to endorse them. So the fact that he's always out there and he'll be the only fucking one. I'm like, why, Bernie? Like, literally nobody else is out, like, campaigning for them. Why? Oh, you must be on mute.
Oh, sorry. When I first decided, I was like, all right, I've kind of had enough of Bernie. Was his good friend Joe. He didn't. Mm-hmm. Old Bernie taught people that you leverage your endorsement for a tangible action. And before the primaries had even kicked off, he's endorsing Biden. He's endorsing Kamala. I mean, he didn't hold out for anything for his vote. Nothing. And yeah, you could say, okay, he's got PTSD because he feels blamed for Trump part 1, so that's part of in his psyche somewhat. Like, he doesn't want to get blamed for it. But his personal take on that stuff doesn't matter when you're talking about a movement. As a movement, he's harming the movement by not leveraging that endorsement for something.
Yeah. And he's been doing this shit for decades. He knows better than that. So, right. Yeah, that was disappointing as well. You don't just, give someone your endorsement, someone with millions of followers. We had over 1 million volunteers in 2020. Over 1 million volunteers. That is freaking insane.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would have dropped if it wasn't for COVID. I really don't. And I talked to his brother about this. At least I don't think he would have dropped as early as he did. But I mean, that's, kind of conjecture.
Right. Yeah. Who knows? Odds are he was going to lose it at that point, to be honest. But yeah, he still had some fight in him left, but he didn't fight. But I mean, you bring up COVID, and that's another massive disappointment to me. He was the chair of the Senate Health Committee. He had the top holding position on healthcare in the Senate, and did virtually nothing on COVID. So
he didn't do much of anything on healthcare. It was really disappointing. I mean, under Biden, 15 million people lost food stamps. Nobody said anything. But now it's happening again, and people are up in arms. And I'm like, where the fuck were you last year when Biden did it? Did he tweet about it? Maybe, but he didn't do anything about it. Like, these people.
No, he could have been an example of the inside-outside strategy. Like, I have these millions of people ready to rally up and put pressure on our own party to do this shit. And instead, he didn't grab a microphone ever, on any of this stuff.
That's the thing. When you have that kind of platform, you have an obligation. You have a responsibility to use that and to talk to people and rally them and get them going and say, this is what we can do. Let's fucking do a general strike this day. Things like that. People would listen. Even the people we wrote our book about are fucking championing
right
now. It's insane. All the fucking shit lives.
And what do we see now? In my opinion, we see Bernie trying to pass his mantle on to AOC, because it's always him and AOC. Like, there's some dynamic duo. Like, Like she's going to take over the progressive left movement. If
Yeah.
she takes over the progressive left movement within the party, it's dead. I mean, let's be real about it. She's a lightweight. She turned into Pelosi faster than Pelosi turned into Pelosi.
Yep. Sure did. What about the leaked info about her and Kamala? Did you see that?
No, is it something broke today or yesterday or something I missed?
No, it was like 2 days ago. Apparently, Kamala and AOC want to run together.
Oh, good fucking Lord. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they should because AOC isn't going to bring people to Kamala, but Kamala's stain is going to wear on AOC, and she doesn't deserve to be where she is as a, a leftist influence.
Fair.
She's an influencer. She's not a fucking leader.
She is
She's
an
a
influencer. She's a pop star. She's like, I'm on the cover of Glamour. I'm on RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, that's what I do. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's like when the Democrats all of a sudden are embracing you, you are not some kind of leftist because they're all now they want to run her with Kamala. Seriously, Kamala, you're still a fucking killer, Kamala. You're a fucking genocider and nobody wants your ass. Like nobody voted for you. Nobody. You were anointed.
Not to change the subject at all, but Mamdani obviously is sort of a Bernie guy. And just today, I saw a tweet with him and taking a selfie with Liz Smith, and Liz Smith endorsing him. Liz Smith saying she's stoked that he's going to come. Now, granted, they can't help it, and they all want to align themselves with sort of, if it's going to happen, like politically, it makes sense not to keep attacking the guy, But still, of all the people, Liz Smith is a true villain in the political consultant world. And she's out there, and he's happily taking the endorsement, but...
What about Hakeem Jeffries endorsing him? He fucking takes AIPAC. Like, so much AIPAC. He literally refuses to say anything about Palestine. He bootlicks Netanyahu nonstop. He takes so much AIPAC. He has literally refused to speak on Palestinian rights, and he endorsed Mamdani.
Did that just happen today?
2 days ago.
Because that's 2 days ago. 2 days ago, he finally endorsed him, right? See, our last show was 2 days ago. So.
Yeah.
So I'm missing some of this.
It bothers me because here's the thing. He doesn't have to endorse anyone. He doesn't have to. Yeah. And if someone who takes a lot of AIPAC is going to endorse someone who says they are pro-Palestine, I have to wonder how pro-Palestine are they that this person is comfortable enough giving their endorsement. That's not how it works. They have to believe he's going to sway. They have to have talked privately.
Yeah,
something had to happen.
It all makes me nervous. I mean, I still think Mamdani is going to be a good lesson for the left when he wins. He's going to be illustrative of the party fighting him every step of the way on everything. So that's another win sort of for the left in that, hey, it's clear as all day. You can't just vote people in to get this stuff done. Or he actually does things. If he actually gets in and does things, well, then that will spread to other mayors and people in positions. A mayor doesn't have to work with the party in the same way a senator or a congressperson does. It is a different power. So there is some hope that him getting in there and getting some leftist policies through will spread. And, if nothing else, it'll get these guys off of this trying to run, like, the consultants keep saying you got to run on abundance and you got to be centrist. And, so disavowing anyone running as a progressive, anyone running under the idea that you can be centrist and that's the path to winning, at least you'll get Democrats again faking the Bernie movement, faking the left, faking the progressive stuff, which is still better than us than, the party turning people off to that idea.
I don't know. It's just I am so cynical. Like I literally trust no one. I trust literally no one.
Yeah.
I want to like him. I love that he calls Netanyahu a psychopath and things like that. but he did, he was asked about Israel and he said, yes, they have a right to exist, things like that. I have an issue with that. Things like that. And he kind of was like towing the line as far as like, yeah, two-state solution. And like, he was not going nearly as hard as he did before he started running. And that's why I'm nervous about people who take APAC endorsing him. But on his
Yeah,
race,
no,
it is
no,
very
I
interesting how Cuomo, who Mr. Only Vote Dem, is running independent. That's fucking funny because he
yeah,
lost.
and I love that he's doing that too, because it's like the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party has been on full display for people, which is, that's what we're trying to show all the time. Like, these guys are hypocrites. We need to look elsewhere to solve these problems. And so seeing Cuomo run as an independent after getting his ass handed to him, and then having a debate where it's pretty much two people against Cuomo for most of the debates, nobody thinks Cuomo's going to get this thing. I mean,
No.
he's cooked. So we'll see what happens next. And I have a lot of the same fears with Mamdani. I mean, I'm realistic. Like, when you have a meeting with somebody and then you come out and they say, I'm endorsing him. Well, in the political world, that's not like we had a talk and I came to terms. It's like, you gave me this, I'm going to get this, and you're going to get that. So there's plenty of reasons to be cynical about him and not trust him. But what I was going to say is he does have an army of people behind him in New York at this point.
He does.
So, can we get an example of somebody leveraging that army? That would be great to see. So let's hope anyway. Does that mean I'm going to go campaign for him? No. Does that mean I'm going to send him $1? No. Blame the squad for that. Blame all the failed progressives for that. If I'm going to support a candidate, it's a local one maybe. But like a national movement to support a candidate in another state, the squad killed that for people. And, Mondami's still benefited from it, but he's killed it for me and our wave of people, I think, largely.
Yeah. I think, watching the way the anti-Muslim and anti-Arab hate is like really the main reason I want him to win. Just because I'm disgusted by what he is going through. And they're talking about, oh, he's in New York, 9/11, 9/11. And it's just like, what he's having to
No.
deal with is so disgusting. And so that would be a huge, victory, being able to have someone who is Middle Eastern and Muslim and having them in charge in when all these people are freaking out about it. That would be definitely a good thing. I am trepidatious about him, though. Someone I'm way more trepidatious about is this Graham dude. What are your
Plattner.
thoughts on him?
Look, it's all kind of fishy. I mean, it's weird that he could have gone his whole life without realizing it was a Nazi tattoo. On the other hand, the tattoo is wasn't such an ugly blob of a piece of shit. And I didn't know a skull with two things on the side of it was a Nazi thing per se. So I could see some of that being real. The part that bothers me more than anything is that he was such a, military guy, private contractor, military guy. Like that's, and you read some of his Reddit posts and it's nuanced. I mean, I'm going to give him credit. He's not really a war hawk, but at the same time, he's out there saying things like, I was young, I was basically hungry to kill is kind of how you can read through some of it. Like, so I don't love that. And he kept re-enlisting and, what did he work? He worked for Blackhawk, right? Was it BlackRock? BlackRock.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, he wasn't just in the military. It's a little more than that to me.
Yeah.
But, people can change. He's got all the right people against him still. So I'll give him that credit on that.
I think, as far as the tattoo goes, he said that a bunch of his army brothers got the same ones. So I'm like, 18 years, multiple people in the service all have the same tattoo and nobody knows what it is. First of all, didn't someone say that's really ugly? What is that? Because it was horribly done. Like,
Yeah,
horribly
it's
done.
terrible.
Was that?
It's terrible, but I
It
mean,
was
that not
awful.
to
It was
defend him at all, but
awful.
that might give him some cover in this regard. That they're
I
so
know,
bad, it's
seriously.
not. I mean, when they show them side by side, it's just a big black blob.
Yeah.
But
But
I mean, his judgment is still under question because that cover up was fucking god awful as
what the fuck
well.
is it? What is it?
Like, you
Like,
know, you're going to be showing
a
everyone on TV
box?
your new tattoo, and that's what you came up with?
I would have gotten a black box, legit. Just a fucking black box. Like, I
Yeah.
know. But my question is, why didn't you cover it up when you found out? Why did you wait until, and then when you announced, hey, look, I did this, but I already got it covered up? Why didn't you do it that way? That's what I want to know. Like, why did
Yeah.
everyone
And
have to flip out for you to actually say, you know what? Yeah, maybe I'll cover it up.
right. And
I don't get it.
there's some danger in his story not being accurate because he says I recently, and he's vague on when he found out.
Yes.
It's I recently found out. So he's giving himself cover like, oh, 5 years ago you found out? Well, if that's the
Right.
case, you recently sucks. You should have done something by now, right?
Right.
But if it is true and it's recently, it's been a while. I mean,
Right.
follow
Even if
this
it
logic.
was
If
a
it's been a
week
while,
ago, like,
all it's going to take is one person to say, "Oh, he's known for years." It's like there's a trail of people that know if that's true or not. And so if he's lying about it, there could very well be an email saying, I got my racist tattoo covered up. Did you get yours yet, Plattner? I mean,
right, exactly,
it's possible.
exactly.
And then he's done. Then he's done.
Right, right. And I do get the whole people can grow thing. I just think, it's one thing to be like, look, I'm going to be like, do you know who Lee Carter is?
Yeah, yeah, I know Lee
He was on my
personally.
show.
Yeah.
He was mad cool when he was running, and he got elected several times. When he was running, he came out and he was like, look, I have multiple kids by multiple women. I was depressed. And he went through his whole, I've never seen someone so transparent in my fucking life during a campaign. He brought it all out himself. And I was like, holy shit, I've never seen someone do this. But the way he did it was not just like, I know it's going to come out anyway, but like, here, I'm going to save you the trouble. Here's what my life is like. And to me, that made him so real. I loved it. But I
Yeah.
don't feel that way about Graham. I feel like this was
Yeah.
I feel like someone probably told him, conjecture. I feel like someone probably told him, hey, I saw this and I think I'm going to go out on it. And then he's like, oh shit, I better say something myself.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt to me that he knew that. Somebody hit him with it, or somebody said, your wedding, your brother's wedding, because that's where it was first revealed. He was
Mhm.
well. First off, that's another point against him. He does a wedding dance for his brother. I forget, related to some movie or something, but
Yeah, it was
he's in his
Miley
underwear.
Cyrus' wrecking ball.
Yeah, he did Wrecking Ball for at his brother's reception, I think it was, or something. But
Yeah, that
he's in his underwear running around. I mean, it looks like a just terrible decision, drunken move. I know it's planned, but like, you're in tidy whities for fuck's sake, dude, at a
was
wedding.
funny because he wanted to quantify that, like, or qualify it. He's like, well, it wasn't technically underwear. It was like what you wear to work out. And it's who semantics, who gives a
He
fuck? But it
looks
was.
it looks like a terrible decision that most brides wouldn't want happening. Is what I'm thinking.
Yes, yes.
It's
Oh my God.
it
But I
stinks the joint
noticed,
up.
I don't know if you noticed, but holy shit, I have his sycophants. Oh my God. You will get attacked, like insanely attacked. If you even say what we're saying now, no name calling, just critical
Right.
thinking. Holy shit. Oh my God.
Yeah.
People are so hype about this dude. And like, people are being like, the next Bernie. Like, stop. Please
Yeah.
stop. We
Stop.
don't need a savior. We don't fucking need a
He's not the next
savior.
Bernie. I mean,
No.
his campaign is just another example. Take the Nazi stuff aside. Just look at his popularity, and it's just the fact that this alleged leftist stuff that we all agree with is universally popular when you take it away from the party. And he's running even as a Democrat, but he's going to win in a purple state, even with the Nazi shit. Probably going to win. So,
well, they have ranked choice voting in Maine.
Yeah.
Which is really awesome. We need that. Speaking of which, so we're seeing tons of stuff that's like, democracy is dying, democracy. What are your thoughts when people say that?
Well, I mean, look, the difference between the Biden administration and the Trump administration is it is escalating the same mission, but it's amplified all so much now in the last few years that, yeah, I mean, democracy's been dead for a long time, but we're in sort of the closing pinch at the end of it where it's like, we're all so fucked. The economy is going to be so bad. Healthcare is so out of reach. Your apartment or, housing costs a fortune. Our jobs are getting replaced. And you bring in this fascist piece that both parties, the donor class of both parties supports the fascist state of this all happening, which is why you don't get the Democrats fighting hard against any of this stuff, because they recognize, just like the Republicans do, that you're going to have an unruly populace. And the more unruly we are, the more you need to contain it with fascist stuff like AI screening our texts and, worrying about being able to lose your job because you had a tweet that was too rough on somebody a year ago or 2 years ago or 10 years ago, or you said something too pro-Palestine, So, the police state and amping up AI and curbing of freedom of speech, it's the same project they've been on for a long time. It's just the Democrats are so bad that it lets the right tack so fucking crazy right on this stuff in a hurry. And that's what's happening now.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And, when people are like, democracy is dying, I'm like, okay, but closed primaries, money in politics, electoral college, super delegates, Kamala being the nominee without receiving a single vote, cigars in back rooms, like
100%. And Stanford's study that's like 20, 30 years old or whatever, they've shown like what the public thinks and how many people support a policy has no bearing on it getting passed whatsoever. So how can you call yourself a democracy when what we want is irrelevant to both parties at this point?
I think there's never been a more clear example than when millions of us, all around the world nonetheless, but millions of us have been in the streets for over 2 years and we still haven't been listened to. I've never seen something like this in my life. And the fact that didn't even sway Biden. And then, Bibi came out, I want to say it was about a month ago, saying, Biden was the best thing that ever happened to Israel. And they never asked for a ceasefire. So
yeah,
we're working around the clock, whatever. Dude.
Well, that's why I say, it's not a matter anymore of convincing people to agree on these policies, because Palestine is a perfect example of it. Like, we universally, like, if what the public thought had any bearing, we would have never funded Israel. 2 years ago, we would have stopped. We probably would have let them react, and the public would have learned, like we all did a month after October 7th. Most of us had Googled a little bit and we're like, holy shit, how have I not been paying attention to this on the level I should be, right? This is not a complicated situation. This is clearly a police state and they're genocidal right now, So our job it's not what it used to be of convincing people. I mean, there's value in that. You should know what you're talking about. You should have an understanding of the issues, especially if you're going to try to, preach to people about becoming left and doing something. But just like the No Kings rallies, it's like, okay, you got all these people out here again. Just like the Pussy Hat rallies. Pussy Hat rally number 1, Pussy Hat rally number 2. Yeah, you're mad. You want to get rid of Trump. Okay. None of that is going to stop, the AI tech bro takeover, for example. right? So that's going to happen regardless. Who were all the tech bros in Silicon Valley for before? They were Democrats, pro-Biden Democrats, and then immediately they went, oh, we're all right-wing Republicans, right? And it'll just go back the other way. And they've bought their way into power, and they're not going to give it up. And the Democrats are going to be kissing their ass the second they win back any power themselves.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I interviewed some people from Black Power Radio the other night, and I was like talking to them about No Kings, and it's so interesting because I call it parades because it was all costumes and signs, and I've never seen so many people so happy. It was just amazing. A lot of them didn't even have speakers, and they had no demands. There literally is no such thing as a protest if you don't have demands. It doesn't exist. And their list of sign suggestions, not one.
We covered that.
What's that?
No, we covered that exact sign. I know what you're talking about. Look, if there's one universal thing people were mostly upset about that got them out to the No Kings rally, it's ICE. I think that's a big part of it because it's the in-your-face fascism that we didn't agree to, right? And the only line on that sign was something about no light on the ice, light ice, like a little play on words with drinking and ice, like, have a margarita or something, light on the ice was something to put on the sign. The sign suggestion was something like that. And it's like,
No Kings,
and it was like,
we love Queens. That was my other.
Yeah. It was like number 10 on the list. Like, you're not even saying get ice out of our neighborhoods clearly to people. You're making a little light ice, like light ice. No, we don't like ice. We don't want ice at all. And you're suggesting a sign that's light on the thing that we all don't want.
Yep. They all had permits. They all said, no signs with, signs have to be like approved, things like that. Like, I can't like that. And you have Hillary coming out and saying, everybody go. And it's just like, okay, you have like Pelosi, she's like, oh. And did you see her try and rip that crown? It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
it was just like the kente cloths.
What's that?
It was just like the kente cloth moment,
Oh my God. Seriously, it was amazing. Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm like, this is not doing anything. First of all, you're doing it every 4 months. Second of all, you're making it all about Trump. Third of all, you didn't do shit for the past 4 years. And like, they had, we'd be at brunch signs. Did you see those?
Oh, Kamala's husband was carrying one at the rally.
I know.
If Kamala was president, we'd be at brunch. Yeah, you're the vice. You would be the first husband or whatever, and you'd literally be at brunch. You guys would be at brunch, not doing shit about the economy, not doing shit about ICE, not doing shit about healthcare, not handing over all our jobs to robotics and AI.
Yeah, incredible. Like, first of all, no class solidarity whatsoever. Like, all these people unhoused and starving, and you're talking about brunch, which is extra. Nobody goes to brunch unless they have fucking money to go to brunch. And you're like, we'd be at brunch. Like, holy fuck. And then they were
I mean, you could have made it about keeping the government open because you're cutting the WIC benefits, you're cutting SNAP, and that should be a big part of your message, that this is the Republican plan to do that, cutting all social safety net. You could talk about the removing all science from every level of government. There's no they don't check fucking our food being made at places like they used to. Yeah. They used to have people that would go on site and spot check Heinz, for their cannery. You never know when they're coming. They pop in, they check, and they test, and they say, "Oh, it's not up to standards." That doesn't exist in our health system anymore. Our food safety, But so, in the face of ICE and SNAP cuts, to be talking about brunch is just next level, like you're not one of us. Like,
right. Exactly. And to brag about that, and I said, I literally unfriended over 30 people because I was like, I showed 3 pictures of the I'd rather be at brunch or we'd be at brunch. And I said, I want to puke in these people's faces. Literally. I got dragged so fucking hard. You're punching down
Yeah.
on the left. You think those people are
Down?
left? Oh my fucking God. They're like doing like, do you see the dance? It was Pete Buttigieg.
Yes.
High hopes, like it was bad. Like that's who you're aligning with right there. Like,
and that, you know, just to bring it all back, Pete Buttigieg, his campaign manager was Liz Smith, who was the Mamdani, you know, just took a selfie with Mamdani saying, yay, go Mamdani.
That's a huge fucking issue because I was in Iowa at the caucus, and when he announced he won, and that was one of the worst nights of my life. I've never seen so many crestfallen people. It just, whew, it was bad. One thing I want to do with you is we wrote this shit lib parody book. Oh my God, what a time. I was going blind as we wrote it. So I was like, okay, read it to me. And you put up with me. And I am so glad we did it because it's a fucking gem. And it is still so true. So I figured we could just open to a random page and just read and see if it's still applicable.
Go for it, wherever.
Let me see my...
You mentioned it right before the show, and I got the book, and I haven't even looked. It's been so long, but I love the cover.
It's been long,
it's amazing.
Yeah. Alyssa.
The cover always. Oh,
What's
sorry.
that?
I was just gonna say the cover always reminds me a little bit of our dear friend Tina Desiree Berg.
Oh, why?
Even though she's a Karen, but it's just like, you know, she had a little bit of a Karen haircut, and I don't know. But,
I see. Yeah, thin blonde.
who I love. I mean, I love Tina. She's amazing. Yeah. She's out in the street. She's the opposite of a Karen, but like.
Yeah, she came to our stand-up book signing.
Yeah.
It says, where'd it go? Joy and Greed. Oh, well, that was something. Oh man, I can't read this. Alyssa Shalano, I don't believe you invited Peter Douche. I blocked and reported him. Okay, you're gonna have to do this. I can't read.
That's all right. we'll let the book go for now. But that.
Oh no! Pick something.
Did you know that Peter Dow went on our show finally?
He did. Shut
I wrote a whole book before this. I don't know how many people are old Twitter OGs like us, but I used to run I was Peter Douche, which is a parody mocking Peter Dow, who was the only leftist centrist shitbag who ever converted politically ever in life. Ever? And I wrote a whole book parodying him. I used to run a parody account, you know, Peter Douche on Twitter. I got kicked off of there. But come full circle, he came on our fucking podcast.
I can't. Oh my God.
The biggest W ever in my life, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah,
he and his wife both follow me, and I'm like, wow. Because my memories come up, and I'm like, wow, I ripped him so many assholes. That's amazing. So you told him I'm that guy, and he's like, yeah, come on.
Well, he always knew I was, and he had said some things online to make me think maybe he's coming around. Because I rode this guy so goddamn hard. I mean, like, you know, I wrote a whole book out of spite about this guy, just for shits and giggles. And, you know, he did come around. And I think I've built goodwill with him because when he started waking up to not being a shitbag, I was like, I'm going to end this parody just flat out. I'm not going to keep it going for laughs. Like, if he's legit, let's see. And I think that built some goodwill with him, that he knew I was sincere about it. None of it was just to rib him. It was to push a political agenda, which was be left of that guy. He's an operative. Don't be that guy. So
Yeah, it was crazy. All of us were a little trepidatious at first. We're like, he was hacked. He's trying to
right.
get a mind trick. What the fuck's going on? And then, more and more, and he started moving even more left and being more hardcore and even calling out like Hizzlebub and like his friends of decades. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I think he like really does feel this way now. He's remarkable.
He converted, for sure. He's a real leftist now. It's not. It wasn't.
Really
it wasn't a political. Yeah, we were great. We had It was a really good conversation. He was very. I mean, politically, he agrees with everything we say now. Like literally everything. It's crazy.
Wow. That's so amazing. Go back to when we were writing our book. Did you think that would happen?
Oh God. No, I mean the guy had me kicked off of Twitter. I almost got sued because of an interaction with him where this lady she tweeted something about Bernie about how he was going to throw all the Jews in the oven or something, right? She was drunk or something at night, and she was sort of a political operative, but a friend with Dow's, and so she woke up in the morning saying, "Oh my God, this guy." Peter Douche fabricated this tweet. Like she said, I made it up. I made up her tweet because she deleted it and just tried to make it go away. And Peter Dow helped her by getting it out to the world that I was this evil guy making up tweets, without any question. He just was like taking her word on this thing. Not like, hey, maybe I should look at the Nazi that I'm supporting a little bit.
Wow.
But anyway, it came full circle. And I mean, just personally, just amazing to me. Like we actually got one to come to our side, and he was one of the biggest ones back then too.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious. What gives you hope for the future?
Just that things are so bad for so many people that a lot of people have less to lose in a way. Like normies know that the Democratic Party sucks, right? So the more that normies know we need to do something, and that they see Palestine and they're like, that alone, like I can't support, like why isn't the party taking our position on this? The party's wrong on this, which shows the money in politics, blah, blah. But we need action. I think even though there isn't this guideline of what's going to happen to escalate and we do this next and that next and whatever, and people always say like, oh, you can't call for general strike because we have to have all the perfect conditions in place and, get a strike fund ready and let's wait for that. I don't believe in that. I think anything could spark off a big thing, right? And a big thing doesn't have to be the whole country shutting down as a general strike. It could be targeted to one area. But if you fuck capitalists up and you fuck their plan up in one area, one field, one thing, and they see us get a win because we make demands to them and they respond to them, then it's contagious. And that something could spark off something really big at some point. And I think the times call for it. So it's just a matter of, it's not if, it's when, to me.
Absolutely. And I mean, those people need to look at things historically because there was no like planning, March on Washington and things like that. It has to be organic, or the fury's not there, the might's not there. It has to, be the power of the people. It has to be, or it won't work. So I totally agree. I'm so glad you joined me tonight. It was so good to see you.
Likewise, Joy, absolutely. And Cyndi Lauper, I don't know what I thought Joy was rocking the Cyndi Lauper outfit initially, and she's Gwen Stefani.
The fact that it says no doubt.
Oh, that's what it says back there.
Yeah.
I got my screen's too small right here. That's all.
And here.
Oh, well, that helps too.
Oh no, my Gwen outfit failed.
In person, it wouldn't have. In person, it wouldn't have.
We're old, Pat. We're old. That's why.
That's true.
Oh, and
Amen.
what's your Pedro Rainbow Bridge? I assume for Pedro
What about Pedro?
Kitty Cat.
Oh, Pablo? No, he's still
Oh,
around. Pablo
oh,
is
I
like
saw
kicking
a
it.
picture of a kitty, and it didn't look like him. Do you have
I
another
have
picture?
another one. Yeah,
Oh, oh,
my
oh,
parents had a massive cat problem and they had like 15 because they just kept humping like crazy in their backyard. And I'm like, all right, I'll take one, you know. So I have this little shit here that's pisses on me in my sleep still a year and a half and still pisses on me in my sleep. Get a cat. Get a cat, they
oh.
said. But I
I
love
have
them, so it doesn't matter.
I have a 1-year-old deaf dog, so
Right?
he
Oh, you got a new dog.
literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh, I'm so happy you still have him. What a cutie pie! He's the star
Yeah.
of the cover. He's the
He
star.
is. Where is he
I
at?
don't know why I thought his name was Pedro.
Oh, well, I used to call him, Jesus, what was it? Because his real name is Pablo, but I called him something my gay rescue cat of color because I used to make it
Yes,
a
yes,
joke
yes,
about
yes.
how, you know, identity politics. So you can't really talk about bad about me because I have a gay rescue cat of color. That
Right,
it
right.
was like, but
Oh my
anyway,
god. It's so good to talk to you. It was great. Thanks
likewise.
so much for joining me. And thanks for
Cheers.
dressing up.
Right
I
on.
was
You'll have to come
drinking
on
earlier.
sometime. You'll have to come on sometime. We're doing 3 shows a week now: Wednesday, Thursday, and
Awesome.
Sunday. So punch up
Yes,
pod.
and before we go, everyone who has not gotten my new book, Our Friend Temujin, The Wrongful Conviction of Temujin Kensu. Temujin has been in prison almost 40 years, even though he's been proven innocent. So please get this book. I make a donation to Heal Palestine every single book I sell. So you can get it barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com. Please read his story. Thanks so much. And thank you,
Amen.
Pat. Thank
All right.
you.
Ciao.
Ciao. Much love, everyone.